What is up there, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to do a transmission fluid flush on my 07 LBZ Duramax. Now the truck has hit over 300,000 miles. Now every 100,000 miles you are supposed to replace the oil transmission filter on inside of the oil pan. So today we are going to be replacing both filters, which is inside of the oil pan and then the outside oil pan. So two transmission oil filter every 25,000 miles. You're supposed to replace just the outside of it, and drain and flush and all that stuff. Every 25,000 miles you're supposed to do that, and every 100,000 miles you're supposed to replace the filter on the inside. So since it has hit over 300,000 miles now, I am going to be replacing both of them. And then the previous owner, which is the original owner that I bought this truck from, she has been maintaining this truck since day one. So I am of course going to be doing a transmission fluid flush. I'm comfortable to do it. I checked the dipstick as well. Transmission fluid looks really clean because this truck has never been molested on. Anyways, guys, the transmission fluid that I'm going to be using today is total of 8 quarts. I went with Motul ATF fluid. Shout out to my buddy over at Stefan at PNW Race. He hooked me up with these oil. This is the outside transmission oil filter. Now once you take out the old one, there should be a magnet on the inside of it on the center part. I'll show you all that, guys. And then this is the inside of the transmission oil filter of the oil pan. It is pretty simple. Make sure it comes with this gasket right here, and this is the gasket for the oil pan, for the transmission oil pan. But we are not going to be using this. We are actually going to be reusing one that is currently on right now, because that is magnetic and it is reusable. Enough of me talking, guys. Let's flush the transmission oil. Alright, first, guys, I'm going to let the tranny dipstick out like that, so whenever you flush the transmission fluid, it flows better. So let's leave it that way. Alright, guys, so we're going to drain the fluid first. You're going to be using a 15mm 6-side socket. Just crack it open loose. There you go. Wow, it is actually really clean. Holy crap. Yeah, this truck has been maintained. The owner didn't lie. She didn't really lie at all. I don't know if the camera does gesture to it, but it is very, very clean, as you guys can see, kind of. I know it's kind of blurry, but man, that is clean, dude. Alright, so I did clean the drain bolt out. Now, the drain bolt's a little bit kind of the rubber part, the gasket part damaged, but next transmission fluid flush I'm going to replace the whole drain bolt. That's my plan. So I should have done it this time. I didn't really think about it, but oh well. So after it's pretty much drained out, I'm just going to put the drain bolt back on, hand tight first. And honestly, you could just leave it hand tight for now, because I'm going to be taking off the drain pan anyways, and then I'm just going to tighten it later. And then next up, we're going to remove the outside oil filter, which is located right here. This was very loose, by the way. It's supposed to be hand tight, but even with hand tight, it was very, very loose. I didn't even have to like really put any strength or nothing to take this out. I am glad I'm doing this transmission fluid flush, because this magnet was filthy dirty. I mean, look at my rag. This was clean, and then that's how filthy it is. So clean it up really well. If you want to use brake cleaner, go ahead, you could do that, and then just clean it up really well. And then yeah, put it back on the new oil filter, and I'll show you guys where you place it and all that. So alright, so we do have the new tranny filter here for the outside filter, outer filter I should say. I like to add a little bit of oil in it before I install the new oil filter in. Really just pretty much similar process to an oil change. When you do it, you put a little bit of oil in the filter. This tip is very, very thin. That should do it. You don't have to go all the way to the top. I'm gonna put the magnet that I just cleaned on top of it right here. Just make sure it's like pretty much centered like that, so you can skirt it on and all that. So now I messed it up. There you go. That looks good to me. Now let's put the new oil filter back on. That's hand tight. You don't have to be too tight, but you don't want to be too loose, okay? Next up, guys, I'm going to be loosening all these bolts for the oil pan, transmission oil pan, which you are going to be using a 13mm bolts. First, I'm just going to crack it loose, and then I'm going to use the impact to loosen everything up. God, that's tight. One. All right. Alright, every single one of them is loose now. I am gonna use an impact. Where did my impact go? Okay. My oil pan did drop just a little bit. Got my catch can ready. The last bolt is hanging off right here. So I want to gently and carefully, slowly, I want to drop this because it can get a little heavy if you're doing everything by yourself, you know. Alright. So that's the secondary filter I was talking about. We're gonna take that out and install a new one. When you take that out, make sure the ring comes out too as well. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So when you do this, the fluid should come out too as well. So let's try this. Oh yeah. Sheesh. Yeah, the ring is off, so I don't need to use a pick or nothing. The ring that I was talking about is this orange piece right here. Make sure it comes off. All right, next step is process of cleaning the transmission pan. I'm gonna just drain out the old one that's in there, and you just clean it out pretty much. That's a lot of gunk, honestly. Alright, let me clean this up real quick. This is a gasket. This is reusable, guys. This is reusable. So just letting you guys know, you can if you want to use the one that comes from O'Reilly, AutoZone, or whatever parts store that you get it from. But this factory one is reusable. So I recommend it because that's what the form says, to reuse it, but also it is magnetic. So alright guys, so O'Reilly gave me the wrong filter and I went back, got it. This is the right filter, this is the old, this is the new. Okay, the part number, if you're going to O'Reilly, is called FK345. okay, that's the part number that you need for the transmission filter for the Duramax. I said it is a deeper pan, so that's what you need. You see 2 holes right there, boom boom. Same on this one, 2 holes, boom boom. Gasket, gasket, and then, you know, very similar shape to it. A little different. The hole's missing right here, but I don't think that should be a big an issue. So let's install it. Alright, before I install it, put some transmission fluid around the ring right here. Cool. And then it should just slide in, and it should just hang down a little bit like that, and that's fine. So that is completely fine, and that's that. And now let's install the oil pan back on. Make sure the gasket that you're reusing it, make sure it's nice and even. Just gently raise it back up. Okay. This is probably the hardest part of all if you're doing all this by yourself. Just gonna put it on, and then I'm gonna use an impact to just kind of put it in snug in place. So I'm gonna tighten it with the impact, but I'm not tightening it like all the way down. I'm just tightening it, and then after that I'm gonna torque it down. When you tighten it down, make sure you're doing a crisscross pattern. Alright, that's that. And we're gonna torque it down, baby. Got my special torque wrench ready to go. Let's do this. So you want to torque this down to 20 foot-pounds, and you want to do it crisscross pattern. Alright guys, after you torque these down, I'm gonna make sure to torque all the bolts again to see if I torqued everything down. It should be. Let's just double check your work. Alright, yeah, everything's torqued down and that's good to go. Alright, as you guys remember, I did not tighten the drain bolt, so I hand tightened it. What you all need is just good old quarter turn. That's it. That's what you all need. It should be good. It should be just easy, nice little snug, hand tight. Let's check again. Yep, it's tight. Alright, so I got my funnel. We're ready to go to install. You're gonna install 8 quarts of them. Now the funnel that I use is kind of like, you know, the long funnel with thin tube on the tip, because obviously to fill a hole for the transmission for this truck is kind of a little thin, so it's kind of harder to install, so that's what I recommend you getting. So yeah, let's install 8 quarts of ATF. Alright, after you fill up and everything, the next step is start it up and close the door. Turn the lights on so you guys can see it. Alright, so the next step is I'm gonna put reverse, neutral, drive, manual, first gear, all of the gears, 5 seconds each, and then I'm gonna go all the way down and all the way up, 5 seconds each on each gear. Reverse, neutral, drive, manual mode, and first gear, and park. Gonna do the same thing all over again. I'm just gonna you only have to do this like once, but I'm gonna redo it, the whole process again. And that's that. I'll pretty much do everything. Now make sure to check underneath, make sure it's not leaking anything, no fluid dripping on the ground or nothing. So it looks good to me. Nice. Well guys, that'll wrap up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Transmission, my truck is running great. You know, it feels a lot better with the fresh new Mocho fluid in my truck. Highly recommend that ATF fluid. I'll leave it in the link in the description below so you guys can pick it up or hit up my buddy Stefan, get it shipped out. He'll do everything. So yeah, but anyways guys, Japan trip is tomorrow. I'm going to be leaving to Japan tomorrow, so I'm going to be posting a lot of Japan content. So this is going to be really cool. I have everything planned out this time. We're going to be going to the Tokyo Auto Salon. I'm going to be filming a bunch of cars there, and I'm also going to be going to like a underground secret car meet for that night. So I'm going to be very busy filming, editing, doing a bunch of stuff. And then it's not just that. After the trip, after the Tokyo Auto Salon, we are going to be headed to back to Osaka, film feed racing there, which is one of the legendary champion for the Mao for the Toge time attack racing. Gonna be filming them. If you guys don't know, you guys gonna see what's gonna happen. So yeah, just stay tuned. And then after that, we are gonna be headed to Nagoya to film the Liberty Walk headquarters. We are gonna be there pretty much talking, and I'm just gonna be translating, you know, my friend Key and Stefan for them. But my job there is to film, you know, the HQ side of it, and then all that. And then after that, there's gonna be a bunch of like little meets and here and there, and then we're gonna be traveling different parts of the Japan and stuff. So I'm gonna also be filming that as well. But the main favorite part about this trip is on the 26th, guys. There is a huge racing event that's going down north of where my grandma's house is in Japan, which is about 30 minutes away with the car ride, and the only way to get there is with the car. So yeah, I am really excited for that race, because literally Zero Fighter, Toyota Racing, just bunch of different aftermarket tuning shop that's going to be showing up to see who is the best out there. So I just cannot wait. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to watch this race for the longest time. So I am super excited. They did it last year, and I saw on a couple of my friends' story on Instagram, and I was like, damn, I wish I was there for that. It's kind of bummer, but oh well, it is what it is. But I hope this transmission flush video was helpful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, guys, peace out and stay thirsty, my friends.